class session 2 of the week. I don't know about you, but after last session, I'm a little sore, especially in my back. So I may have pushed it a little too far. Hopefully you guys are okay, but I'm definitely a little bit sore. So I'm going to take it a little bit easy today with this session, but it's all Pilates. And obviously just going slow through some of the exercises and maybe even modifying some might be good for you as well as for me. Okay, so let's go ahead and warm up. Chest expansion. Surprisingly, I'm not sore on my shoulders, but just my lower back is a little sore. Let's go cat and cow. So again, just take it as slow as you need to. Just warming up. Let's go into dynamic, hands forward, hips down, and pull it back. All right, go ahead and come to a seated position. So we're going to come down on our backs and we're going to do a little bit of crunch work with single leg work, okay? So go ahead and come on down. So we're going to have our hands behind our neck when we crunch, so it'll look like this. I'm lifting, I'm just sort of holding my head. I'm not assisting or grabbing or pulling on my head, okay? And what's going to happen is I'm going to pull in or lift in. Just as I say, don't pull, I say pull. Lift in or up, and then we're going to extend this leg and come back down. And then we're going to pull up so that we're holding this crunch position at the top. And we do one full single leg move on one leg, and then we do it on the other. Okay, here we go, nice and slow, lifting up, pulling in, holding, extending, in, down, other leg, other leg. Make sure you're breathing. Rest. So we're going to do double leg with sweeping arms, and the sweeping arms are going to come out to the sides of your body, okay? So go ahead and bring both knees in. We're going to lift our head and shoulders up. We're going to extend both legs out and reach out with the arms. Pull them back in, chin to chest. One more. And rest. Good. All right, a little bridge work. So our arms are going to be at our sides, but we're going to bend the elbows. So arms are vertical here. And I'm going to lift my hips at the same time I lower my arms. So it looks like this. And then I'm going to lower my hips and bring my arms back to start. So it's just a little bit of coordination bridge work here. Let's go one more. And rest. Good job. All right, we have crisscross, but we're going to do it just like we did with the single leg with our hands behind our neck, okay? And it's going to be a crunch. So, just like before, we brought the knee in, right? And we lifted up. Well, now we're coming across. And down, and across, and down, switching, okay? All right, here we go. Hands behind your neck. Pull, knee in, lift, hold, come down. So it's like we're going slow motion on crisscross. Make sure you're rotating across and not just lifting straight ahead. Rotate across. And rest. Nice. So we'll do a traditional single straight exercise with both legs up and pulling, but we're going to do what's called a pulsing straight leg. So it looks like this. Watch me. Legs all the way up, head and shoulders up. I'm going to pull and drop, but I'm going to pulse 1, 2. So it's like a gentle pulsing pull here. Chin to chest, make sure you're scooping your belly. That means pulling those abdominals down into the mat, connecting your lower back to the mat. One more. And knees in. Head down. All right, so from here we'll do a modified double straight. So we're going to keep our arms down on the mat. We're not going to bring our hands behind our head, okay? So we're going to go ahead and straighten the legs. Lift the head up off of the mat. Bring your arms down to the mat. And we're just going to lower, bend the knees, pull them in, bring the legs back up. Down and in. I'm not going to go all the way because that puts a lot of stress on my lower back. So I'm just modifying. One more. And knees down and in again. We're going to bring the feet down. We're going to roll to our side and push ourselves up to a seated position. Okay, remember those rollbacks? So we were holding and then leaning forward, right? We're going to do that again. So putting your hands on your knees. And we're just going to scoop our belly, collapse our lower back. And now I'm going to lean back, let go of my knees, and come forward. And we're not going to sit up tall. We're just going to slowly move back and slowly move forward, keeping the back collapsed. So we're not flattening as we sit forward. We'll go one more. ahead and straighten your legs. Make sure you have a V position of your legs. We're going to go into a saw exercise. I think we've done this before. I'll explain it again. So our arms are outstretched, sitting up tall. We're going to twist in one direction, and then we're going to lean towards that leg, keeping a flat back. Lift up again, twist in the opposite direction, and then we're going to lean. So alternating sides, take this nice and slow if you need to. Just working on flexibility in our spine, as well as our trunk, so our abdominal wall is engaged. Lower back to assist us hinging forward and back. You'll also feel some flexibility or stretching in your hamstrings, your glutes, and that lower back. Of course, just be gentle with yourself if you need to, like I am. And back to center. Go ahead and bring your legs together. We're going to go into that rowing exercise, which we all know how to do. So arms are outstretched, gathering our hands. We're going to collapse that lower back. Remember this, we're going to lean back as we pull our arms with us. Lean forward, let go of those arms, split back behind you, sweep around in front, and then come back forward and back. Start again. Again, I am not going deep into my lean back and not going really far into my stretch, but you can obviously go deeper into these moves if you'd like. One more. Good. Okay, so we're going to go into a seated balance position. Hands are underneath the thighs. Our legs are bent. So we're balancing here on our rear, right? And so our back is collapsed, so my back is rounded. And what's going to happen here is I'm going to extend one leg up as I push my abdomen forward. So all I'm doing is changing the position of my lower back. Sitting up tall, pushing my abdomen forward as I lift my leg up, okay? If you need to balance here with your feet down, you can still do the same exercise, which I'm going to do. So just feel the difference between the rounded back and the flat back. Push the abdomen forward, lift the shoulders up. One more. All right, V position for spine stretch. We're going to hinge forward with a flat back, come back with a rounded back, sit up tall. All right, bring those legs together, bend your knees, and we're going to come back on our elbows. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and extend one leg out. I'm going to pull my knee in towards my trunk, and then I'm going to rotate or drop this bent leg out away from my body and extend that leg back to down to start, okay? So it's in line, out, away, in, out. So just a different angle on the hip. Remember, our abdomen is tall. Try to keep a flat back. One more. And we're going to switch legs. Last one. Good. And come forward. Knee hug. And now we're going to come over to our tummies for our back. All right, turning over. So we're going to do an exercise called pull straps. And so our upper body is doing the work. Remember, I'm going to take it really easy with these exercises because they're back emphasized, back focused. So I'm going to start with my arms outstretched to my sides here. I'm resting here on my chin. I'm not sure if we've done this before. We may have already, but my legs are going to stay down. What's going to happen is I'm going to sweep my arms back at my sides. So that's what my arms are doing. And I'm going to lift my trunk and then sweep my arms back. So as I said, I'm only lifting a tiny bit because this really aggravates my back. So you can lift up as high as you want, and you're going to reach back with your arms and then lower. So keeping your hips down, press the hips down into the mat as you lift your trunk up and back. Make sure you're breathing. Engage the glutes. Let's go one more, pull straps. Good. All right, bring your arms in front. So now we're going to keep our head down and we're going to do lower body exercise. So this is called flutter kicks. So I'm going to keep my head down and I'm just going to keep my pelvis down and I'm lifting both legs up and I'm just going to kick up and down. Just quick little flutter kicks, pressing the pelvis down, engaging those glutes. And rest. We'll do 2 sets of flutter kicks. Second set, lift the legs and begin up and down movement. And rest. Good. All right, so we're going to bring our hands outside of our chest and we're going to go into that modified slow push-up into low back stretch. So pulling it back, bring our hands outside our chest, pushing up, keeping the knees connected, pull it back into low back, come back up, come all the way down. Try to keep your trunk as strong as possible so that your back is not sagging, right? Pull those abs up and in, nice strong backs. Let's go one more. Finish at the top. All right, kneeling tall. So we're going to go kneeling tall mermaid here, and that just simply means that our hips are pushed forward, our glutes are engaged, our abs are engaged, okay? And we're just going to sweep our arms up and over, just nice easy side bends. So our trunk is engaged, nice and tall. Okay, so now we're going to do a teapot push-ups. So I don't know, I can't remember if I've taught you guys this, but this is what's going to happen. So we're going to bring our arms down to our forearms from here. I'm going to extend one leg back. You can adjust your arms however you want, but what's going to happen is you're going to come up onto your hands, okay? When you come down onto your forearms, that back leg is going to lift up. So this is called teapot. So I'm going to press my hands up and then the leg comes down. See that? So down, leg up, keeping your back nice and strong. Switch legs. Last one. All right, let's go into low back stretch. Bring your arms with you. And we're going to come over to our side. All right, come on down. You're going to come down with your hand propped behind your head. We're just going to do some leg work right here. So bring this hand out in front of your abdomen. And we're just going to lift and lower, keeping the leg down, not too high, maybe coming up above our hip. That's about it. Just pulsing leg lifts. Pull your abdomen in, press your hip down to the mat. Now I want you to go a little bit higher and a little bit slower. I want you to go as high as you can and slow come down. All right, come up onto your elbow. You're going to bend your knees. You're going to bring this leg back behind. Now we're going to keep this leg bent and we're just going to lift that lower leg up. You can hold on to this knee, or you can bring the hand down to the mat. It's up to you. And bring that leg down. Then we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Come all the way down, hand behind your head, starting with small pulsing lifts, that upper leg. A little bit higher and slower. And as high as you can. Go ahead and bend those knees. Come up onto your elbow. Bring this back leg behind you. And we're just lifting the bottom leg. All right, we're going to come up to a seated position into knee hug. Release your back. So we're going to go through this whole routine again. Change some things, some of the exercises up a little bit, so maybe not as modified. So we're going to come back down to our backs and we'll go through those single leg exercises. We're going to actually turn them into traditional exercises rather than crunches, okay? So we're going to come on down, bring both knees with you. Keep your head and shoulders up off the mat. And we're going to go right into single leg stretch. So I'm going to pull one knee in, extend the other leg out, and then switch. Chin to chest, looking down at your belly button, scooping, connecting the back. Nice and slow movement. Breathing. We're going to turn this into double leg with arm sweep, just like we did the first time. One more. Head down, feet down, arms down. All right, so remember last time we did this bridge. Arms are bent. We're going to lift our hips and lower our arms. And back to start. and stop. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into our crisscross, and we're going to do a traditional crisscross here. So go ahead and bring your knees in, hands behind your neck, and we're going to go ahead and begin, keeping our shoulders elevated, coming across to that opposite knee, full extension of that parallel horizontal leg, right? Full extension, slow it down. One more. And rest. Good. All right, we have that single straight, but we pulsed it the first time, right? So we're not going to pulse. We're just going to go traditional single straight. And then we're going to go right into the modified double straight. And we will be putting our hands behind our neck, so that will change as well, okay? All right, legs all the way up, head and shoulders up. We're going to pull and release the leg. Okay, bring both legs all the way up. Hands behind your neck, holding on. And we're going to go ahead and lower the legs, bend the knees, pull the legs up to start. So it's the same as the first time, except now our hands are behind our neck. Remember, you can lower those legs as low as you want. I am not. And rest. Feet down, head down. We're going to go ahead and roll to our side. Push ourselves up. Come to a seated position. We're going to put hands on knees. We're going to practice those roll backs. Remember that we are not coming into a flat back. We're just leaning back and leaning forward. When we lean back, let go of the knees. Keep the back rounded. Lean forward and back. You go as deep as you want. I'm not going very deep, but I'm going to keep my spine rounded, right? One more. All right, seated V position for our saw exercise. Arms outstretched. We're going to rotate and lean and lift and rotate to the other side. All right, bring your legs together. We'll go into that rowing exercise, interlocking your hands. Collapse your spine. We're going to pull and lean back as far as you can, where you feel comfortable. So this is that seated balance, or you can keep your feet down, right? So we're going to round our back. We're going to lift the leg and then lift our trunk nice and tall. Or keep your feet down. Last one. Good. All right. V position of the legs. Spine stretch. One more. All right, go ahead and bend your knees. We're going to come back on our elbows for that knee pull exercise. So abdomen is tall, right? We're going to extend one leg out. So I'm going to pull my knee in just like last time, rotate it out, extend it back to start. So we're changing the position of the leg at the top. The hip opens and extends. One more. Switch legs. Pull in, rotate out, back down. One more. And sit up, knee hug, release your back. And then we're going to come over to our tummies for some back work, okay? So go ahead and turn over. Or start with the pull straps, so just the trunk doing the work. Arms start out at our sides. Legs stay down. And we're going to lift and sweep back. We'll go one more. And then we're going to fold our arms, keeping our head down. This time, we're going to go flutter kicks up and down. And rest. We'll do 2 sets. And lifting up again and kicking. And down. bring your hands outside your chest, slow push up and to pull back, but we're not going to come all the way down when we go back up, okay? So we're just treating it like a push up. One more. Kneeling tall. Hips are forward. So we'll go mermaid. One more. Good. All right, so we're going to go into that teapot exercise. So one leg is back. Remember, we're going to push up onto the hands. So find that spot, right, for your arms, and then you're going to come down and lift that back leg up. One more. Switch legs. One more. Good. Let's go low back stretch. Bring your arms with you. Let's come on down to our side. Let's bring the arm and the head all the way down this time. So we're not propping, we're just resting. All right, so same exercise. Bring your hand out in front of your abdomen here. And we're just lifting this leg just right above the hip. And we're just pulsing. So remember, abdominals are pulled in. Pressing the hip down, nice and strong in the leg and the hip. And we're going to go a little bit higher and slower. Last one. Go ahead and bend your knees. Push yourself up onto your elbow. You're going to bring this leg back. Now I'm going to straighten this bottom leg. So instead of keeping it bent, I'm just going to hold on to my knee here and I'm going to lift, pulsing. And I'm going to go a little higher and slower. Last one. Good. Bend your knees to the other side, all the way down. And pulsing. And a little higher and slower. Last one. Bend your knees. Push yourself up. Top leg back, bottom leg straight, and pulsing. And we're going to go a little higher and slower. Last one. And we're going to come up to seated accordions. So remember accordions. We're rounding our back as we lean back, and then we're flattening our back when we lean forward. Go ahead and sit up tall with your legs bent today. We're going to go figure eights in front, so rotating, we've done this before, rotating the shoulders down and up. Back is flat. Arms in front, palms down, we're going to pull back and forward. Bring our arms down at our sides, hanging position here. We're going to lift up and out. And stretch forward. You guys, the session is complete. Make sure you comment after the workout, and I will see you next time. Good work.